my goodness. Oh, let's hope this works. Okay, hello everybody. This has been an interesting 48 hours. I haven't slept. I think I have 2.5 hours of sleep, so maybe 3. My glasses are bothering me, and YouTube wouldn't let me go live. I tried 4 times. So here we are on Facebook Live. Let me know if you're here. Say hi in the comments. Tell me what's going on. Are you participating in Card a Day in May? If you are, let me know. Card a Day in May. I am behind, but I'm determined to catch up. Today I am doing day 10, and it's the 13th, so it's okay. Today is an anniversary card. But I'm also going to be doing the Your Choice Day 11 and To Die For Day 12 and Monochromatic. I'm hoping to get them all in today, but I'm also having my live BOGO sale at 4 o'clock Central Time. So let's get started. I am going to flip the camera down. My name is Chris, and I'm coming to you live from my stamping studio in Worthington, Minnesota, where it is a beautiful 83 degrees. It's a little breezy, but nonetheless a beautiful spring turning into summer day. We are going to be using blooming phrases for the anniversary card today. I've already pulled out happy and anniversary. I'll show you how I'm going to combine those, or use them, I guess, with a post-it note. Alright, I have things pre-cut. So if you are watching on the replay and you want to play along, here's what you need. You need a piece of cardstock. I'm using our new color. Oh my gosh, I still don't know all the names of everything. Seaside, Secret Sea. Secret Sea. 11 by 5.5, scored at 1 3/4, 3.5. Let me pull that up just a little bit. You can take a screenshot. 11 by 5.5, scored at 1 3/4, 3.5, 5.25, and 7. These measurements and this idea for this card come from Tammy White. So thank you, Tammy White. All right, that's our card base. Then you are going to need 2 pieces of cardstock that measure 5 3/8 by 1 5/8. 2 of those. I'll get it all laid out here, and then you can take a screenshot of everything. You're going to need 2 pieces of designer series paper that are 6 by 6. Now I am using the paper from Beautiful Gallery. So I at first didn't think that I would have a use for this particular set of paper, but the cards people are making are gorgeous. Alright, so you need 2 pieces. The first one, you're going to start cutting on the left of the 6 by 6 paper. And it's going to be 5 3/8 by 1 5/8, 5 3/8 by 1 5/8. And that's this piece. It's this piece. Okay? That darn glare. And then on the second piece, you're going to start cutting from the right, 5 3/8 by 3 7/8. So when you are putting it together, it will look like a scene. All right. So here is everything you need. If you're taking a screenshot, do that now. And then we'll start assembling. All right, so let's take these out of the way, and let's take these out of the way. Alright, so here is my card base, and you can see it is scored on all of those lines that were indicated. And we're going to just zigzag the whole thing, but we're going to make sure that we have a nice crease. Okay. Okie dokie. Yeah, so I didn't sleep last night. I don't know why, but I'll tell you what, I got a lot of stuff done. I get a ton. I don't know, why do I get more done in the dead of the night, like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, than sometimes in a day? It doesn't make any sense to me. But there you have it. My brain just would not turn off. Alright, so there's our base of our card, and you'll see that it will fit into a standard size envelope. Alright, we're going to glue on. This card stock is basic beige, and I'm using green glue. You do not need a lot of glue, and when you're putting your glue on, move quickly so it doesn't get thick. Don't let a lot of glue pool in one area. Okay. One of them goes on the second inside panel, and one goes on the fourth. Okay. There's those. You're going to see when I put this together that it's pretty simple once you've done all of the cutting. So obviously the largest piece of DSP goes here, and then I did label these because I didn't want to mix up. So I have, this is the middle one. I liked this choice of DSP for an anniversary card because it's not so feminine. I think that both husband and wife will appreciate it. And I do still send anniversary cards, so that is the majority of this card. So when you open it up, what I like is that it will stand nicely on a mantle. Alright, let's zhuzh it up a little bit. Like I said, it is an anniversary card. So we need some scraps of basic beige, and I think I'm going to use, I thought I was going to use that new color. Let me grab it quickly. Oh, here it is. Secret Sea. Secret Sea. Many of my stamping friends are saying that this is their new black. This is going to be their new black. Alright, this is just a scrap, and I think it will work. I have not 100% planned this out. But what I wanted to demonstrate for you is how I want to make Happy Anniversary, but all of these stamps have this tail on them, which I love, but I don't always need it. So I am going to cover this part with a Post-it note. Whoops. That darn glare. I'm going to cover this with a Post-it note. And I'm going to stamp it into the ink. Remove the Post-it note. Trust me, I've done it without removing it. It's a whole different effect. Happy Anniversary. This Post-it note you can see has some lines already on it. I also did a card. I'm not sure if I videotaped that one and posted it or not yet. I think I did, where I used the tail end of the stamp for the stems of the flowers. So, another use for those phrases. All right, let's get the ink out of the way, and I'm going to fussy cut this. Let's cover that up so it's not such a glare. All right, here we go. When you fussy cut, keep your scissor close to keep your hand close to your scissor. And we have discovered over time that not only I, but many other people who do videos have a hard time small talking while they're fussy cutting. I don't know why, but I have to kind of concentrate on what I'm going to say even while I'm cutting. So I believe I'm going to pop this up. Now, if all the stars are aligned, this will also fit on the width of my card. Didn't plan for that, but if it doesn't, we cut off part of the tail, I guess. But I do love the tail. Stampin' Up! Used to have an old wooden set where the words were really, really stretched out, like the whole 5 1/2 width of a card. One of my favorite old sets. All right, happy anniversary. Let's see. Where do I want to put that? I am not sure that I love it on there. I know I don't love it on there. But I don't really want it on the inside either, because it's going to show partially. All right, not my favorite sentiment on this card. I'm going to punt though. Let's do this. Let's do a belly band and close it up that way. There's a couple ways to skin an elephant, right? Is that how you say it? Is that the phrase? I don't know what the phrase is. Let's go 1 1/4 inch. 1 1/4. When you make your belly band, don't tie it or fold it too tight, because you want the recipient to be able to slide it off and on. I'm going to have to trim off just a little bit of the tail, but I think that will work. I don't have anybody here watching with me, so I cannot get any advice from any of you. I'm on my own. I'm using I'm using pop dots. I could have used tear tape. I want something pretty sturdy because I want this to stay closed. People that are watching the replay are probably screaming at me. Several things. First of all, Chris, that sentiment is not going to fit. Secondly, why don't you put the seam on the front? Thirdly, ooh, don't cover up that whole scene. All kinds of things, right? I get it. I'm with you. Trust me. But sometimes you just have to punt. I didn't put the seam on the front because my sentiment is so thin that it won't cover the seam. So It is what it is, and I'm not going to pop it up because this is already thick enough. Yes, I have now forgotten that the end perhaps needs to be trimmed off, and it does. Live TV, ladies and gentlemen. Live TV. Okay. Now all we're going to do is add a ribbon and some bling. Alright, I have two basic beige ribbons here. This one I've not opened yet, and this one I have. This is an online exclusive. Let's go ahead and stick with that. I think I'm just going to tie it around here. And again, I am keeping this kind of gender neutral, and so I'm just tying a knot. Pull out my ribbon scissor, trim the ends a little bit. There we go, there we go. And these are the new in color flat pearls, so I will be adding some of the, what's it called again? Secret Sea. I keep wanting to call it Seaside something. Secret Sea. Let's put, you know what, I'm going to use the blue one, which is called Cloud Cover. I think it will pop a little more. Let's put one there. Oh, let's use a medium one. Okay, I'm going to do my signature 3 in a row. 2 in a row, how about? And 1 over here. There. There, there, there. Alright, love these flat pearls. Alright, there it is. Card number 10 for anniversary. I will perhaps add a sentiment. I think I'm going to add a piece on the back for the sentiment. So, the problem with belly bands is there's never anything to do with it once you receive the card. But it is kind of fun. My husband suggested cutting just down just a little bit here so that they could slide it on there. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Alright, let's go ahead and color in the anniversary card. Ooh, bad tip. Still usable. Number 10, anniversary. Let's put a red cherry cobbler center. Very fallish looking. Not necessarily what I was going for, but there you go. Well, now, what did I stick my arm in? That is not a tattoo, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, I'm going to clean up, and I will be back with card 11, which is my choice. So thanks for joining me, and see you soon.